Okay, I think we can get started now. My name is John Martin, and I'd like to welcome you to Dialog Insight's presentation this afternoon on how to become a customer engagement expert. Together with Alison Flero, who's joining us here, we'll be able to show you a few things that we've implemented in OpenField, and we hope you like what you see. If you have questions during the webinar, hang on to them. You can share them in the chat window, and we'll be sure to get to them towards the end. If you'd rather email them in, you can do that as well. And we are recording the webinar today, so following the presentation, we'll be able to send you out a copy that you can share with colleagues or other interested people. And anyway, welcome this afternoon. So here at Dialog Insight, we get asked for new and innovative ways to help our clients interact with their customers. Our development team and our product teams have accepted the challenge, and we've built a few new things in OpenField that we're going to show you about today. And we're very proud of this, so we hope you like what you see. We hope these tools can help turn you into your company's customer engagement hero. To start with, OpenField has a very flexible data structure. And in this way, we can work with your systems and your established procedures, and we can help optimize those into the platform so that you get the behavior that you're looking for that's right for your business. So if you haven't already taken steps to optimize your data, please talk to us. We'd be happy to help you take those steps and get the most out of your use of the platform. It is the flexibility of our data structure that allows for a lot of the flexibility that we're going to show you about today. So moving forward, the platform needs to be updated. And if you don't already know this, there's a number of tools in OpenField that automatically track behaviors and updates from all of your contacts. So it's the automated collection and the synchronization bridges that will help you build between your systems that will lead you to the customer insights that you need to go forward. Today we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about our customer journey tools and ways that you can look at your website visitors and learn more about them, follow their path, and in turn track all of those visits in your OpenField platform so that it can become actionable data that you can use in your marketing. Along the way, we'll look at different scoring options that you have for assigning values that are right for your business so that at the end of the day, you can get the feedback to learn how to talk to your customers, how to better segment your messages, and how to drive true customer value or put your messages in context for your customers to help with your overall marketing efforts. So to start with, in the old analogy, people would come into a store and they would, a clerk would, potentially come up to them and say, "Hi, how are you? What can I help you with today?" In today's world, people will come to your website, and of course, to date anyway, that's largely been a one-way activity. What we're going to show you is some tools that can help you be charming when people come to your website, just like the clerk is charming when they come into the store. And different customers will, of course, have different paths through your website. So we'll help you learn what they're interested in and what twists and turns they take that lead them to an engagement with you. So this is the customer journey path, as we're able to track it in OpenField. And with that introduction, I'm going to turn things over to Alison to show you a few of the specifics on how that's going to work.
Thanks, John. So now I'm going to show you how Journey works inside of OpenField. I think in the end you'll find that Journey is quite easy to use if you're already used to making groups inside of OpenField. So inside of OpenField, we go to Configuration. Sorry, just waiting for my screen to refresh. So we go to Configuration, Contacts, and then we click on Journey. Now the first thing we need to do is define the website where we want to track the data. We already configured our site a little while ago to start collecting data, so I'm going to show you what it looks like in my setup, but normally you would add a site. So I'm going to go into mine and click on this little pencil here. This is where you add the domain name that you want to track, as well as any subdomains that you might want to track. You list them in here. Once your domain is set up, then OpenField gives you a script that you're going to place on all the pages of your website that you want to track. And this script is specific for the project that you're working in. Now the script works the same way that Google Analytics works, except that it's going to connect the information to your contacts in your project. Even when a contact is unknown, their journey is still being tracked, and when they follow a process to be added to your database, their journey is appended to their profile. Eventually, this interface will allow us to create events. So for example, if someone fills out a form or downloads a document using a form, we will be able to define actions to install on our forms, which will allow us to identify the contacts that submitted the form and therefore use that information to talk to them differently. So once everything's tracking, we're going to go into results. And this is where you would normally look at your message results. You can see journey has been added in the results menu. So we'll take a look at the journey results. So on this screen, I'm showing the last 6 months. This is the default value, but you can change that time frame. The first table is showing me the evolution of the number of visits, so you can see it's going up. The next table is the source of the visit. So did the person click on an email to get to my site? Did they just type in the URL in a browser to get to my site, so direct access, or did they access from a referring domain, so a link on someone else's site to my site? And then the last table is for the visits. So did they visit on a mobile or visit on a computer? So some pretty interesting results in there. Then we can make some groups to be able to target these contacts. So I'm going to go into groups, and I've already made a group for journey visits. So in this case, I made a group for contacts that viewed a specific page on my website. I'm going to click the pencil to show you what that looks like. It's the standard advanced group editor, and we're going to click on journey here. And what I've done is I've selected specify the URL of the page. So I just pasted the URL here. You can also add criteria based on a certain time frame and add additional parameters if needed. I'm going to click cancel on that. And so what I did was anyone who visited this page, which is my French page, or the English version of that same page, I want these people to be in my group. So I'm going to click on count. And you can see I've targeted 2 contacts. So if I click on the magnifying glass, I can see these contacts. And we'll take a look at someone's profile and see what it looks like in their profile. So I just double click on the profile to open it up. And you can see the profile has changed a little bit here. We just did an upgrade, so you get a little more information about what the contact's been doing. But on the left-hand side, we have a new tab for journey. So in here, I can see the customer's journey. It's showing me the source of the journey, so where they came from, and in this case, the source is an email that the person received. The date, so the last time or when they received the email and started their journey. There's also a pie chart here. Because it was an email, I can click on here and go in and see the message results if I want to. And what site, so it was for the Dialog Insight site. We also see the page view, so I can see they went to 21 different pages. So if I open up this plus sign, it shows me the different pages that the person looked at. Now, I'm using Claudia's profile as an example. Claudia is the marketing coordinator at Dialog Insight, so it makes sense that she's visited our web pages often. In this case, we can see Claudia is just doing her job. But if we were getting high traffic results from a prospect, we could tell it in the same way, and you could use that information to target them and send them relevant messages. So what Journey really allows you to do is to make a bridge between the data, the content, and the behavior to engage your contacts in the most relevant way. So John, I think that's it for Journey. If you want to talk about Score now, I'll just go back to the PowerPoint.
There we go. Okay. Thank you, Allison. Jumping ahead to, there we go. From customer journey, we're going to go into the idea of scoring different things that we can collect digitally and helping you get better insight as to what some of the contacts that view your web page and that you have in your database are doing. So in this case, we brought up 3 samples that I want to talk about briefly before Allison shows you what we're doing here. In the first case, we have a visitor we don't know very much about, somebody who's perhaps come to your website for the first time. And in this case, the website is obviously a positive thing for our business, so we're going to give that a positive value. So we've decided that that will be worth 20 points in our overall system, at least as it's explained in this slide. So we'll display that, together with the other digital behavior we've been able to track against that contact as a 2-star record. And then over time, we'll be able to learn more about our interactions with that customer and hopefully grow that initial interest into something better. Going down the next step, we have Julia. Julia is a very positive candidate. Because she's completed an after-purchase survey, we know things like she's been to our website a bunch of times, she's purchased something from us, and she's, all in all, she's a very positive customer. So the survey alone is worth 40 points, and the rest of her activity with us, accumulates up to 150 or higher. So in this particular example, she has a higher score than the first contact, which is really the only point we wanted to get across here, the fact that she's, potentially a more valuable contact. And then we have Simon. And Simon is just an example of how you might assign a negative value to a behavior. In this case, Simon has unsubscribed. So obviously that's not good for our business, and we want to be careful what we do with Simon going forward. We'd like to understand where he fits in the grand scheme of things. So we've assigned a negative 50, which is a strong enough weight that it will counterbalance, some of the other attributes we might have collected historically on Simon. And in this case, we've elected to display that as a single star. So basically anything that we can track with respect to digital behavior, and you've already seen we can track quite a bit, these can be assigned to score values that can help you determine how to interact with your clients and customer base. So Allison is going to show us a little bit about how that works in the platform and how to go about setting up these values.
Thanks. So I'm just going to go back to OpenField. So unlike Journey, which is a module that needs to be activated, Score is available for use by everyone right now. We find it again in Configuration, Contacts, and then beside Journey, it's just Score here. And the first thing we need to do is define the criteria that is important to you in order to give a score to your contacts. And what you can see on the left-hand side here is that there are 2 types of data that we can use to give points. Information related to the contact's profile, their subscriptions, their relational data, but there's also their behavior. Did they receive an email? Did they participate in a survey? Or are they part of one of your marketing scenarios? These are all elements we can put into place to create point structures that is closest to your needs. So you can see I already defined some criteria, but all you have to do is click and drag it over to the right and drop it to add your criteria in. So in my case, what I've done is for opt-ins, I said anyone that's opted into our newsletter will get a point, or if they've opted in to receive our updates, they will also get a point. So you can see it's an OR criteria that I just added by clicking on OR. The next one is their contact source. So how are they created? If they were created by an import, I'm going to give them 5 points. Or if they were created by a form, they will also get 5 points. You can see the point total showing up here on the right. The next one is using relational table data. So we have a form on our site that allows people to download documents. So in this case, in the table, do they have a record showing that they downloaded a document? Using the date, is it larger or equal to June 4th? If they have, then they are going to get 4 points. And the last one that I used is from the behavior section. It's based on sent messages. So you have your list of messages that you've sent in your account. So based on this message, you have different operators. Did they receive the message? Did they open it? Did they click on it? In this case, I said people who did not view the message get -1 point. So with all of these points added up, you can see up here at the top that my contacts are able to get a total of 10 points. So I'm going to click on Continue. Now we need to decide how we want this to be displayed in the contacts profile. Do we want it to be stars, up to 5, thumbs up, thumbs down, or the actual numerical value? If we select the numeric value, that's the actual number that's going to be displayed in the profile. If we select positive, negative, it's going to be thumbs up, thumbs down, and you have to decide from where is going to give them a thumbs up. So from 5 points up, they're going to get thumbs up. For today, what we're going to use is the stars. So you see, I had to say how many points it takes to get this many stars. So 2 points to get 1 star, 4 points to get 2 stars, and so on. Now that we've decided on stars, I'm going to click Continue. So the next thing we have to do is calculate the score. So I'm not going to click on Calculate because it's already calculated, but you could click Recalculate if you change your score setup. And then another thing you want to do is make sure that it calculates automatically, because people are constantly, their journey is evolving, so they are opening new emails, they're going to different pages, they're downloading different documents. So instead of having to come back every day and click Calculate, I've set it up so that it's going to calculate automatically every day. And then I can just set it and not worry about it until I'm ready to maybe adjust my scores definition later. The last thing on this page allows us to send a user an alert. Let's say there's an anomaly with the calculation. Well, we can send an alert to a user in your project to let them know. So now that we've set up the score and we've calculated it, we can go ahead and make a group to contact those contacts. And again, I've made a group for the interested contacts. So you can see it's very similar to the score setup. The drag and drop module allows me to grab score and drag it over. And once I drop it here, I can give it some criteria. So my operator could be equal to, smaller or equal, larger or equal. So I'm going to select larger or equal. And then I have my options for the stars. So I want 3 stars. Once I hit save, I can see how many contacts are available here. So that means that I can now use this group to send messages to my most interested contacts. Now, the score can also be used to personalize the messages in the emails. So let's go take a look at a message that I created. Now, using dynamic content, I can personalize the message based on the contact score. So right here where it says contact profile, I'm going to select score, and I'm going to use the same operator as I did in my group. I'm going to say greater than or equal to 3 stars. So I would place my content here and say if the score is greater than or equal to 3 stars, insert this content in the message. So let's take a test and see how it works. So we can see this is the message that you received to join the webinar. In this case, this person does not have more than 3 stars because they're not seeing my extra content. I'm just going to find somebody that does. Just one moment. So there we go. So now we see my extra content block that only is displayed to contacts that I know are more engaged. So it says, congratulations, you qualify to receive our special guide on engagement marketing. Download your copy now. So we're able to personalize a message based on the most engagement in this case. If it's a high engagement, maybe you offer extra content that might be complementary to their journey. And in the other way, if it's low engagement, so if they have less than 3 stars, maybe you could offer a coupon to get that conversion that might not have happened previously. So that's it for SCORE. If anyone has any questions, we have a little questions section here. Please feel free to ask questions. I do have a question from earlier that I can go to. The question is, actually, what are your tips for improving click-through rates from your email through to your website? Well, if you take a look at our online learning academy, there's a great blog post, and it talks about drawing attention to your link and choosing the best position for your link, and maybe keeping your link short and specific, like click here, download, just very short calls to action. It also says limit the number of calls to action on your page, but the best thing to do really is to test, because not one solution is right for everyone. So using your A/B tests to see what works for you.
Are there any other questions from the group before we move on a little bit?
Oh, here's one more. How does it work if your contact uses both mobile and desktop? So a cookie is placed on the multiple devices that the contact uses for anonymous profiles. So once we associate the contact to their profile, we can make a match between the different devices. And for known contacts, we can identify the last device used, similar to we can see the last device they opened their message on. I don't see any more questions coming in, John.
Okay. Well, just if you can go back maybe one slide there, Allison, for a second. I just wanted to recap a little bit this afternoon before we move on. The flexible structure in OpenField is important to help you measure and track what you can do for your customers. The automated tools we have for the synchronization bridges between your systems and the ability to automatically track and append information to each and every contact in your database, that's going to lead to a lot of the flexibility that you're looking for. As people visit your website, you can decide what behavior you want or what tactics you want to take to capitalize on those visits. So being able to track a visit and append it to a contact enables immediate things like sending them a thank you email or a follow-up email to what they were just looking at. Perhaps if they're looking at a specific product page, you maybe send them more content associated with that product page and maybe some of the accessories that go along with it. Actions that are triggered by your contact, including a visit to the web page, are received far more positively than actions determined by you at the time of sending a regular monthly newsletter. And wrapping this all up, we can take those actions and score them to enable you to move forward with your customers, understanding who they are, what they do with you, how you can add more value to them, and how you can grow your business. So if you think of questions following the webinar, please reach out to Allison and I or your account manager at Dialog Insight, and we'd be happy to help you further. I want to thank everybody for your time today, and we're very pleased to be working with you. We're very proud of our new tools. We hope you like them going forward. Thank you very much.